Hi, I'm Jen Kem, and I'm the founder of the Master Brand Institute, where we guide founders, experts, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs like you to build a wildly profitable personal brand from the inside out through the power of team, identity, messaging, and experiences. And in today's video, I will be sharing something that everybody wants to know. How do you go from a six-figure business to a seven-figure business, or what's the difference in those two avatars? Well, first of all, let me tell you why I am qualified to speak on this particular subject. You know, when I was starting out my business back in 2006, prior to that, I was an executive in the corporate world. I brought big ideas to market. Things like you enjoy today, I was the strategic lead on many of those teams. Things like the Xbox from Microsoft or Netflix, you know, transforming themselves from a home video company to an actual streaming service, or things like really complex database software that people use that make people into the richest people in the world, like Oracle, that has one of those weird software things that like none of us fully understand, but the guy who created it is a bajillionaire, okay? Those are the types of ideas that I was responsible for when I was in the corporate world. And when I jumped off of the cliff and became an entrepreneur like you, I had to ask myself, what was the kind of business that I wanted to create so that I could live the life that I wanted? And at the time, I had two young daughters. They were about 10 and 6 at the time. And so as a woman, as somebody who was actually quite ambitious and had already accomplished a lot in the corporate world, I also wanted to find a way that I could build something that worked for the lifestyle that I wanted. And so that was first. That was me figuring out what are my values and what is the life that I wanted. And I did that by building and communicating what my vision is. Now, go to another video in this set. It's called the Brand Cast, to be able to communicate your values and your vision, okay? Here's my point of why when I was doing that and thinking through, not only do I want to have a life of autonomy, a life where I could be more present for my kids during those growing up years, but frankly, friend, I wanted to be rich.
Oh, is it hot in here?
Okay, I don't know about you, but I wanted to be rich. And I knew that to be rich, it wasn't just about making money. It was about keeping money, and it was about figuring out a way to be able to be in my strongest, highest fluency areas of skills, gifts, and talents. And what I mean by fluency is like, what I'm really good at is I can smell the money. That's what I'm known for. I can spot a winner, which is an idea or a person or a company, and I know how to strategize it in such a way that it goes to market with success. Not every time, but my winning percentage is pretty high, okay? And the reason is because that's literally one of my God-given gifts. I tell people all the time, I am definitely not an organized person. You definitely do not want me to be the pitcher on your baseball team. I'm a pretty good cook, but I hate to clean up. These are areas of my life that if somebody said, hey, why don't you go online and start showing people how to cook Filipino food, okay, which I do very well, okay? I would want to do that because of, honestly, like all the cleanup and stuff would overwhelm me.
We're done hosting for the night and we have all of these dishes. I say we just put them in the dishwasher.
It's a great idea.
I would much prefer to teach someone like you how to build a life that is values driven and makes you rich and recognized. And that's why I do this for a living. So when I look at the people that I've worked with, or even people that I observe that are doing six figures, and those that actually elevate to a seven-figure, values-driven, highly profitable business, the difference between the sixes and the sevens, because once you hit 7, you can create 8 pretty easily. I didn't say simple. I said, though, it's easier because you create momentum. But what the problem is, and what might be keeping you capped at 6, is that you have not learned how to, number one, be in your highest fluency, as I mentioned. Do you actually know your gifts, your talents, your skills, your abilities? Do you actually know what they are? And are you pursuing a business that supports that? A lot of times we think in order to be successful, we have to come up with this grand idea that we actually have no qualifications in, and therefore we spend a lot of time, energy, and money getting messed up. I am so happy if you are a multi-hyphenate and multi-passionate entrepreneur, because I am too, but I'm big on let's go make that money first, because money gives you options. And when you hit the 6-figure mark, now you've created an audience. You've been able to prove that your products or your services actually are valued in the marketplace. And while you've done that, you probably have stumbled, fumbled, bumbled your way through leadership of yourself and others. You've probably along the way gotten help in some kind of way, hired a few contractors, done things, and maybe you realize, I actually don't love that whole managing people thing. Look, most people don't like to manage people, okay? If someone tells you that they love to manage people, they are definitely unicorns, okay? But what will elevate you from 6 to 7 is actually learning that skill. It's you being able to not manage though people, it's your ability to enroll people into your vision and to showcase your high fluency abilities so that the people who have high fluency abilities that you do not have see that they fit into the vision that you have. And that's the difference between a 6 and 7-figure entrepreneur. People always say, oh, you know, to become a better 7-figure entrepreneur, learn how to market yourself better. Sure, yes, you always have to be marketing yourself in some kind of way and create the systems to help you market yourself. Even with marketing, if you don't have the right marketing strategy, if you don't have the right marketing team, right? Very difficult to grow. If some people say, well, you know, if you want to move from 6 to 7 figures, buy another company or partner with another company, and then you can create that. Sure, that's one way that you can move from 6 to 7 figures, but guess what? You have to be the person that a partner would want to even partner with, right? You have to actually show how your gifts, talent, skills, assets, things that you've built would be supportive to the other one. And you also have to determine, do they have complementary, not competing gifts, talent, skills, and abilities? And that's really the core of what the difference is between a 6-figure entrepreneur who is a unicorn at doing something well, but still holding on and attached and worried that you don't want to build a larger team. And I'm like, you don't actually have to build a larger team to become a 7-figure entrepreneur. What you have to do is to enroll the right team. And they don't even have to be full-time for you to do that. So the big thing here and what I want you to take away from this video is that it's who you are and your decision to not run a business that requires only you in it, but also determine that whatever you want to grow into is a business that can be sort of supported by other people and that you invest in that. So I hope that by what I shared with you, that you realize that you are a unicorn. You are a rare breed that has high fluency areas that actually are very attractive to not just your audience, but to people who wish they knew that they could work with you, called the other unicorns. So if you found value in this content, please hit the thumbs up button below so that we can get this video in front of more entrepreneurs and CEOs like you. But before I go, if you want to get better at messaging your leadership, I want to invite you to take our Brand Archetype quiz, which is in the link below as well. It's free and it helps you really tap into your brand voice. I'm Jen Kem, here to help you get the right messaging and team support to build the wealth, power, and leadership you are meant to bring to the world. Until next time.